All right, we are live. Give me a second. Trying to get a couple of more people to join. Just waiting for a couple of more people to join. What's up? What's up? What's up? Trying just waiting for a couple of more people to join before we get started. And I'm sharing this to all of my different platforms. Just waiting for more people to join. Just sharing to a couple of my platforms. Let me send this to the Insider Trading Room. And trying to manage all of these different platforms is crazy. All right, just give me a second. Just waiting for more people to join. If you're on TikTok, go ahead and give me some hearts. I'm new to this. I am new to this. Give me some hearts. All right. Just bear with me. Just waiting for more people to join. I have to share this to my groups though. All right, I'm sharing it to the Insider Trading Room, and I'm also sharing it to the Ninja Trading Room. This is Ask the Trader. If you are watching this, this is the Millionaire Challenge. I'm starting it again. Go ahead and share this video to your loved ones so that they can get these gems today. Because if you see me doing a live, I'm not trying to sell you on anything except making money in the market. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm doing. If you're on TikTok, I'm not accepting any invites as far as on the page until I finish today. This is Ask the Trader. So this was started on the Facebook platform, and that's where most people know me. I am new to TikTok. This is my second day on TikTok. Well, I've been on TikTok for a minute, but this is my second day on just figuring it out, playing around with it, trying to figure out the hashtags. So I have people watching on TikTok, but most people are watching over on YouTube or Facebook, LinkedIn, so many different other places. So this is Ask the Trader. So I created this, guys, so that I didn't want to just come on and just talk, and you guys not learn anything. Y'all know the first 30 minutes, I'm going to educate you guys on some of the things that I'm doing. And then for an hour and a half, I'm only answering your questions regarding the stock market. All right. So again, if you guys can share, I'm learning how to share. If you guys could share this to other people, especially if you're on TikTok, go ahead and do that now. And we can go ahead and get started. Hold on. All right, just making sure that I'm set up before we start. So, welcome to the Millionaire Challenge. All right, so I'm simulcasting this on several different platforms. So I'm going to be going back and forth to the screens. All right. So the way Ask the Trader works is all I want you to do is if you have a question regarding the stock market, I want you to ask that question in the comment section. And I don't care what the question is. I am a full-time day trader. Everyone knows me by Joel Harrison, and I am a full-time day trader. So, you guys have access to a real trader that's been in the business before. Most of you guys were around. Some of you before you were even born. I was self-taught, and I'm gonna do a challenge. Right? I've never been on TikTok. I keep saying I never been on it. I created a TikTok page years ago because I was trying to be cool following my kids, but I never really did anything with it. I got on it. I just put, a couple of videos on there, and then, I didn't use it for like years. So, now I'm trying to monetize all of my products, and everyone's been telling me going over to TikTok. So I was going to start the Millionaire Challenge in January anyway. But before I start, I always do this. If you can hear me clearly, please in the comment section say, "Hey Joel, we can hear you," or "Hey Joel, we can hear you," in the comment section, okay? Because I can't get started unless you guys actually hear me. Uh, so let me go ahead and see if, okay, there's the comments. So there's a couple of ways that you can see this. All right, I'm going to be answering questions like this, but for my TikTokers that are watching, when someone asks me a question about a stock, and I'm going to learn how to use the video platform on TikTok so I'm able to share my screen as well. But for now, you guys are going to be able to see me talking to face to face. But if I'm analyzing a stock, and this is what I'm trying to teach you guys how to do within 1 minute, if you take part in this challenge, you're going to be able to analyze any asset. I don't care if it's forex, futures, cryptocurrency, bonds, treasury bonds. I don't care what it is. If you're able to pull a chart up on it, you're going to learn price action. You're going to learn exactly what to do with it depending on what your strategy is. I've done thousands of consultations, so I know what you guys need. And there is no one way to approach the market, but there is fundamental basic things that none of you guys have, even you advanced traders. I educate everybody on the market. I educate the guys you guys see on TV, a lot of personalities that you guys see on TV that are famous. I educate them. They come to me. I teach them the stuff that they didn't learn, because a lot of this technical base, understanding of the market and trying to blend it with the fundamentals, people are just now doing it. I'm a pioneer in my family with combining the fundamentals and the technicals. And I created this term so you guys can be funded technicians, which are super traders, right? Super traders are funded technicians. They don't just look at the technicals. They don't just look at the fundamentals. They blend both of them. And that's why investing and trading is mad easy for me. So I'm doing a 60-day challenge, and I'm doing it for free because I have to build up my TikTok base, right? And if you've ever been on TikTok, you understand that you have to share, you have to be engaged, you have to post like 5-6 posts a day. And I was like, man, this is perfect, because I was already going to create a lot of content, towards the end of the year. Every year I create a lot of content by the end of the year after golf season. So once golf season ends in September, October, I create a lot of videos. I have a lot of classes, and then I usually start a challenge in January. Last year, I started a cryptocurrency Christmas challenge. And if you started the challenge with me and you started in January, you don't have to worry about Christmas gifts this year. And every single month, I told everybody what I was buying, when I was buying it, how I was buying it. And most people that were part of that particular challenge, we had Christmas paid for, in September, June, July, August, September, because crypto dropped really hard. We were able to get a lot of money in while we were just putting, $50 or $100 into it every, week or two. And now my account is over $10,000. Now I know you guys are like, Joel, you supposedly have all this money. You only spend 10,000 at Christmas. Yes, I don't spend no more than $10,000 on gifts at Christmas time. So, and I like for it to be paid off beforehand. But besides the point, we're talking about the Millionaire Challenge. So what am I going to do within the next 60 days? The Millionaire Challenge isn't officially starting until January the 1st. Okay. So that's just real. It's not starting until January the 1st. And but if you don't understand what to do, you're going to get left behind, because I'm going to be using charts. We're going to be trading the options market and the futures market and stock. And if you don't I'm already confusing a lot of you guys, and you guys are already getting all like, oh my god, there's something that I have to learn. So what I decided that I wanted to do was, because I have to post every day anyway, and then go live in the evening to build my TikTok community. I said, you know what would be smart? I'm going to do a 30-day challenge in November, starting November the 1st. And then I'm going to do a 30-day challenge in December. November is for you beginners. So, anybody that's just starting in the market, you don't know nothing about the stock market. Great. I don't care if you don't know anything about it. Every single day, I'm going to post in the morning what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to try to come in the evening, and whatever that topic is in the morning, you got all day long to research it. And then that night, I'm going to go live on TikTok, and we're going to answer questions about whatever it is. So, like, maybe day one will be, what is a stock, right? And your homework is going to be pull up 10 companies pull up 10 companies that you know for a fact are just like big companies that you use on an everyday basis. That's very easy. You just write down, all right, I buy Jordans all the time. So, Nikes or Jordans, I wear an Apple Watch. So, hey, maybe an Apple Watch. I look at my TV. Oh, maybe it's a Samsung TV. I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to Chipotle later. So let me write down Chipotle. I drive a Tesla. So let me write down Tesla. And don't judge me because I own a Tesla. Look, I owned a Tesla before Elon Musk went bananas. So don't judge me. Anyway, but that's what you're going to do on day one. I'm already telling you guys what day one would be. So I'm going to put out a post early in the morning, 7 to 10 seconds, because that's what they teaching me. Joe, you got to make 7 to 10-second videos. So 7 to 10 seconds, I'm gonna tell you guys what the topic of the day is. You have all day to research it. That night, I'm going to do a question and answer format just like this. And then you guys will be able to ask me any questions regarding what a stock is that day. And then the next day, it's going to be, hey, what is a ticker symbol? And then you're going to get more and more advanced each day. You don't have to watch it every single day. You're going to be able to go to my page and see what day one was and what day two is. Because I know some of you guys are going to go on vacation for 7 days. I know some of you guys are more advanced than that. And you're like, Joel, everybody knows what a stock is. Well, a lot of you guys actually don't, right? So even for you advanced traders, I want you to go through the process of going into the Millionaire Challenge. And the process of going through the Millionaire Challenge is going through the process. You gotta cut out everything that you've learned, and you got to start going through the process so I can get your mind right, so that on January 1st, you'll know exactly how to approach the market. And a lot of it is, flipping. I tell people all the time that the quickest way to $1 million is not the quickest way to $1 million is not 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, right? Like a lot of us think, right? The quickest way to $1 million is flipping $1,000 10 times, just like this. Talkers, you guys didn't see that video. What I had on my screen was, I'm going to teach you how to start counting a different way. You guys are going to start counting like this: 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, 32,000, 64,000, 128, 256, 512, 1 million. The quickest way to $1 million, guys, is not making $50,000 a week for 20 years. That's not the quickest way to a million. And I know a lot of you guys, that's the average salary, 40 to 50,000. So most of us feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to get to $1 million, Joel. It's going to be 20 years. And then in 20 years, $1 million ain't even gonna be anything. It's gonna be like having $100,000. I get that. I'm not telling you to quit your day job. I'm not even telling you to not count in that way. But if you want to make a million really, really fast, you got to start counting differently. And I count like this. I count just like this. One more again. 1,000. All right. When you flip it one time, that's $2,000. You flip 2,000, that's 4,000. You take 4,000, you make 100% return. You got 8,000. Then 16,000. Then 32,000. That's 5 flips. Y'all know from 1,000 to $32,000 is only making 100% return 5 times. And this is when it gets fun. 32 to 64, 64 to 128, to 256, to 512, to 1 million. Now, I always struggle at 100 because that's just where I am in my life. If you take all the assets that I have and my family have and you put it all together and you grind it all up, of course, everybody's known for years that my family were millionaires, right? But liquid million is a little bit different than, being real estate rich or, adding all your insurance policies and all the gold and silver you have. And, when you go to your wealth, when you go to your financial planner and you start telling them all the assets that you have and all your portfolios, they'll add all of that stuff up, your businesses that you have out there. And then they'll kind of tell you, how much you're worth, right? But having a million liquid is something that is very, very hard for my family, right? Because we have a lot of things in life that we have to pay for. Legal, we're going through, if you know our story, there's some legal battles that we've had to go through. There are different people that might get sick. Look, I got 2 kids in college right now. I got one that's on full scholarship and then one that I got to pay $50,000 a year to go to school, right? So money comes and goes, right? So it's very hard. That 6 figures is where it really gets hard for me, because once I start flipping that money, when I get to 100, see, $1,000 really ain't gonna do nothing, right? Everybody knows that when I invest in anything, I put 10,000 in it on any investment. So if you see me buying anything, y'all know the minimum is 10 grand. Why? Because in the past, I know that if I flip, if I make 10 times my money, that $10,000 can be worth about 100 grand. And I can kind of do something with 100 grand, right? I can renovate. Like we just spent about $100,000 just renovating the outside of our house. So, if $100,000 in my world is kind of huge. And anytime I have access to those funds, it's very, very hard for me to flip that 100 to 200 to 400 to 8 to a mil, right? So I struggle with the same problems that you guys struggle with, but I also teach you guys how to remain diversified so that you can actually be worth $1 million, right? You can have 401ks or IRAs that you don't touch, and you can have money that's on the side. And I teach you guys this. I'm going to teach you guys how to set yourself up within the first 30 days. Hold on. Within the first 30 days. So let me go back and add this back. Hold on. All right, hold on. Give me a second. Having some technical difficulties. That's me running my dang mouth. Hold on, gotta share my screen again so y'all can see the Millionaire Challenge. All right. Whoop. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So let's get to the topic of the day, Millionaire Challenge. So everybody knows that I am. Hold on. Make this look a little bit better than that. Why it's got me? Hold on. All right. Cool. That looks way better. Why it's giving me issues right now? But anyway, so give me a second. All right. Uh, give me a second, guys. Just making sure everything is working. Let me move you guys over here. I know I need an assistant. This is ridiculous. All right. We're good here. Know why this isn't working. Never had this problem before. All right. Let me get to some of you guys' questions why I'm doing some technical work. Someone asked how much is needed to trade futures on Charles Schwab. How much is needed to trade futures on Charles Schwab? Now, if you have an account with Charles Schwab, futures contracts can be as low as $250 if you have a if you're understanding contracts. So futures, guys, is just a derivative of stocks. It's just a different way to be able to invest in the market. It's kind of like options or crypto or what have you. They have this thing called futures. A lot of day traders love trading futures in the market, but um depending on the asset that you're trading, you can pull up your Thinkorswim account, and your Thinkorswim account is going to tell you how much that margin is. So let's see if I can pull it up. I don't know why it's giving me issues. Like I can't pull up my page. So I'm gonna see what's going on. All right. Y'all shouldn't be able to see that. All right, let's see if it can show now. Nope, still not showing. Hold on. Never had this issue before. Huh. This is weird. All right, I might have to go off and then come back on, which sucks because I've never had to do this before, which sucks. But I might have to do it so that you guys can see what we're looking at because it's not allowing me to pull up my Thinkorswim account, which sucks. Hold on, I'm gonna try it again. Still not letting me. Hold on. All right. So what I'm gonna do for the Ask the Trader people, I'm gonna stop that stream and I'm gonna start it over. And I'm gonna continue to answer questions for my TikTokers. I apologize. You guys are gonna have to come back, but I have to end the stream so that I can redo it. and see if we can start over. Or I'll anyway, I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes.